Presto Year 2 Parent Orientation. I realize that my screen right now looks purple. That's supposed to be white. So I hope you can see the slides in my PowerPoint. If not, I can attach them. Actually, you know what? I will just attach them to the link, or I'll send them to you guys so you can see the PowerPoint. But I want to say welcome. Welcome to our parent orientation. We are sorry that you couldn't come in person. I personally missed you, but I'm excited to teach you all about second year. So here we go. All right, what is new in year 2? Let's talk about first the semesters. We have the Purple Magic semester, which is starting in just 3 weeks. And then we have the Roots semester. It's just called Magic and Roots. So that makes up the entirety of second year. And what is exciting about this is that we are going to find the magic behind what we're doing in class, behind what we've learned in class. So for example, we have played most of our music in the key of C. We've learned C as a tonal center and solfege starting on C. Do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do. From here on forward, we're actually going to move do. So do is magical because it's movable. So we can turn any note in the keyboard into do, and let me demonstrate. So as I step to my piano, I'm going to play a C major scale. Do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do. That's the key of C. We know how to do that. Next, we're going to learn how to put it in the key of F. This now becomes do. Do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do. So you can see, do can be anywhere on the piano. What I just played was an F major scale. That's a G major scale. That's D major. We won't learn that this year, but you get my point. But we can move do anywhere. Do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do. Whoops, ti, do. There we go. And it becomes the same. So do is movable. That's magic. All right, let's talk specifically about what's new in year 2. So we are going to learn the purple chord. Yes, you heard that right. We have the red chord, the blue chord, the yellow chord, and Presto, trying to find it, is pretty dang awesome because we have the purple chord. I like to think of this chord, here it is, as the rock and roll chord. And I'm going to come up close so you can see the purple chord, the notation of the purple chord. So this is middle C. We have a third, C, E, and then we have a fourth stacked on top, C, E, A. So that's the difference between the red chord. The red chord would be C, E, G. The purple chord is C, E, A. I'm going to play this for you on the piano. I want you to hear the transition. There's a red chord, C major. Oops, sorry. The purple chord, C, is played with finger 1. Finger 2 plays E, and then our pinky slides up. So sorry, to A. There's our purple chord. So what this means is we have to learn a new transition. We have our red chord, 1, 3, 5. Now we are going to transition to 1, 2, 5. Finger 2 is going to play the note that normally finger 3 plays, E, and then that pinky slides up. So we're also going to learn chord theory and triad inversion. I'm going to stay at the piano for a minute because I want to show you what I mean. So chord theory. In chord theory, the red chord is actually a C major chord or a 1 chord. This is a blue chord. Blue is next, I said. A blue chord is actually a 4 chord in second inversion. Yellow is the chord that leads us back to red. A yellow chord is actually a 5 chord in third inversion. So let me show you. When we have a red chord, it looks like this, yeah? Stacked up nice and neat. There are no gaps. So what that tells us is the root of the red chord is the bottom note. When there's no gaps in a chord, the bottom note becomes the root. So this is a C major triad or a C chord. I'm going to pause it for just 1 second. I can't pause it. I'm going to hurry. between the C and the F. So when we have a gap, we know, there's a song that teaches this, when there's a gap in our chord, the note above the root, above the gap, pardon me, the note above the gap is the root. It just has rearranged. So this chord is actually, that's how we play it, but we're gonna flip it around. We're gonna move the C up here. It now becomes F major. So this C, I just played up here. I rearranged it. Did you get that? So the root now, because when we take that away, we add a note here, it's now stacked up nice and neat. Now we know the name of the note because the bottom note in a stacked up nice neat note is the root name, right? So that's an F chord. A yellow chord, also not in root position because we have a gap. So we can do it two ways. We can look at the note above the gap, that's the root. We know this note in treble clef is G. So this is actually a G chord. We can also invert it like this. So I'm gonna take this B, I'm gonna pop it on top, play. So now it's B, D, G, I'm gonna play D, G, B. I added the note on top. And now, G, B, D. Now there's no gaps. Now I'm playing G as my root note. So I know for sure this is a G chord. So there you go. That is how we invert triads. And we're gonna learn all about that this year. That was a crash course. We're gonna take much more time in class. If you have questions about that at any time, please let me know. I do not want you to be confused. It's really important that you understand how to invert and that you understand chord theory so that you can help your child. All right, we're gonna learn 4 new rhythms. We'll touch on these later in the movie here. We are going to learn to read the notes on the staff from C2 all the way up to C6. Allow me to show you on my C poster. So we're going to learn every single name of the notes, lines and spaces from this C, C2, all the way up to C6. Those are the most commonly used notes in piano music, notated. We do learn the other Cs, all 8 Cs. We learn the notation for all of them. But we specifically learn all the other notes between C2 and C6. We're going to have the In a Flash Club, and your child will receive flashcards. This is a really fun activity. They're just going to help to learn their notes. All of the notes on the staff that I just talked about will be represented in these flashcards. So we have the In a Flash Club. We'll learn note dictation, which is when I play notes in class and your child listens, thinks about the patterns, listens to the sounds, and then writes them out in notation in their book. We also have a further progression of our note eater. We are going to decode note patterns. I will talk more about this. Actually, let me do it now, just so I don't forget. Okay, so I'm going to come up close. You look at the warm-up note eater. This is in our purple songbook. It's very faint. Just make sure you can see this. You can see there's a line. This is actually for them to trace. So this is just teaching them which direction the notes are moving. They're gonna draw a line, they're gonna trace that line, and then show them coming down. In this instance, they again draw the lines, which direction they're moving, and then they use an arc when there's a gap, or not a gap, a skip. And then because this is a third, from C to E is a third, they're gonna write a little 3. This is also a third down, write a 3. This is an interval of a 4th, so they're gonna write a 4. This is a 4th down, they'll write another 4. And this is a 5th, so they'll write a 5th. So those are 2 types of decoding patterns that we'll learn to notate, and we'll practice that in class. As well as learning key signatures. We're actually gonna learn 5 different key signatures this year, and probably more than that, but those are the ones we for sure touch on in class. At the end of the year, your child will create a composition, and that is going to be so amazing to witness and see at the end of their end of year recital. All right, let's move on. Here are the materials. Your student will get, for each semester, a new songbook, Magic. Here's the songbook, and then also a workbook. They will also have a CD. I don't have one right here with me, but a purple CD. And they will also, of course, have their purple flashcards. And then in the Roots semester, they have a Roots workbook like this, and a Roots songbook. And we're going to go more in depth to the materials. So the note eater in the beginning of the songbook, let's do the magic songbook. I just touched on that. I showed you how that works. There are, in this songbook, sorry. Oh, I am already holding it. Okay. So this is something new this year. In this songbook, every single song has a QR code. Every single song has a QR code. That's awesome, because what that means is you can look up a video on any song in here. So yes, I will introduce it in class. We will talk about important concepts, but if they have questions or if you have questions, or just because you want to learn, use your camera, use your phone, look at those QR codes, and find cute Annalie Dinkle, the founder of Presto, demonstrating this song beautifully. There's one for every song. So that's for Orange Roots, as well Purple Magic and Orange Roots. So that's exciting and new. There are Christmas songs like we had last year. However, they are specifically Christian Christmas songs. And there is a reason for that. It's not because of anyone who's any denomination. It is because we are studying the classical period of music. Am I misquoting myself? I'm second guessing. Hold on, let me just look at my notes. I'm sorry, the Romantic era. We will be studying the Romantic era of music. And basically, all of the Christmas songs of that time are religious. So they're Christian based. That's why we're doing it. As we know, religion and politics and social economics, all that stuff intertwines with music and vice versa. So that is why. If you need some other options, I'm happy to give them to you. Christmas songs or holiday songs that are challenging and beyond what we learned last year, I do have some available, but that is what is in the book. There is a reference section in our Magic Songbook, starting on page 64. It's going to be very, very, very important in your life, your best friend. It's going to tell you the names of the notes from C2 to C6. It also has the songs, the words to the songs, and let me tell you, the songs are really important to memorize, and there are lots of words. So please, please, please listen to your CDs, download your digital downloads as soon as you can, start listening. I have told the rest of my class, the first student who memorizes 2 specific songs, treble, bass, line, and space, and then also the new version of the C song, because we have a new version this semester. First person to memorize it and perform it for me in class will get a big prize. So get to work. All right, our workbook, our bench warmers have a new look. So we're going to just take a moment to look at that. We'll come up a little closer. You see here, down at the bottom, the practice is at the bottom. And we have bench pal, practice 2. Notice it doesn't say day. I want you to keep that in mind. Practice 3, practice 4, practice 5, and then we have fun days. You know what that means. That means bum on the bench. Everything else is pretty much the same with the addition of the note eater here. Technique, repertoire, you have challenge songs, which we know from last semester, and then theory. So I'm asking you to not necessarily do one thing every day. I'm asking you to do a little bit of each thing every day. So it doesn't specifically say what to do on day 1, right? What we do know is that we do bench pal in its entirety on day 1. On day 2, we're going to do a little bit of note eater. Well, there is a note eater. There's also a repertoire or technique for every day. There's a challenge song, and it says here day 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then there's theory for days 2 through 5. All right, so does that make sense? CD spotlight up at the top. That's how that works. Move back over here. There is also a reference section in the back of the book. It's on page 91 and beyond. I don't need to show you because you can't see very well anyway, but it's such helpful information. So anytime you have a question, look at the reference section in either the songbook or the workbook first, and if that still doesn't answer a question, text me. I am happy to answer any questions you have. All right, this is new this semester, and we're not going to focus on this so much until the Roots semester, which starts in January. We will have a note naming game. And I, in my studio, use an app called Note Rush, Noterush, Note Rush. It's $5 in the App Store, and you will want to purchase it. It is worth every penny. I will have on their Orange Roots days. We have again Bench Pal, Practice 2, 3, 4, 5. Then we have note games. Day 6 and 7, they just get to play note games. They're gonna love Note Rush. And it will actually connect notation to the piano. And they'll like get little like dings when they get it right, and they'll play notes, and the app actually hears your piano. It will listen to the notes, pick it up, and it will hear if it's right or wrong and give them like a gold star, and they can progress and level up. Super fun. The kids are gonna love it. And that is part of the curriculum in Orange Roots semester. So not Purple Magic, in Roots. Okay, we're gonna look back in our Magic workbook, pardon me, our songbook. We have 3 options. Challenge songs existed last year, but we have another option for like the eager beaver or somebody who's just ready to move ahead. And we call it Way to Go Prestissimo. So it's optional, first of all. Prestissimo is written on most of the repertoire songs. There's a little thing that you can add. In some cases, it's a way to variation and a different way to play the song once they've mastered the song. In some cases, it's an additional 2 lines of the song. So we don't polish and learn every single song. We will polish some of them. I'm just gonna pull up one of the Prestissimos here. In this song, it's called a bug race. The Prestissimo option, when they've mastered the traditional way, would be to play with the left hand. So doing all of these notes with the left hand instead of the right hand. They'll transpose it in their head. Another Prestissimo, let's see, 36, let me find, aha, here's one. Hello there, Bug Bug. So as you see here, it has Prestissimo right here. These last 2 lines are extra. They are an option to add on once they've mastered the first 2. So this is what we're going to be learning and focusing on in class. The Prestissimo option exists for all the repertoire songs. It will typically not be addressed in class. So Prestissimo is something they can navigate on their own. There is a QR code at the top of every song, and that will help guide them in the Prestissimo. All right, we already had challenge songs. They exist again. We will cover these in class. All the students are encouraged to attempt the songs, but they don't have to feel stressed about them. They can do small chunks, right hand only, 2 measures, and really just focus on polishing and memorizing just a little section. They do not have to learn every single bit of all the challenge songs. Some students will choose to do that, some students that will not be appropriate for it. So you get to help them gauge that. Some students will require modifications. Don't do all the songs, only do part of a song, as I just said. All right, and then we have the above and beyond songs. Now, these are for advanced and highly motivated students, right? So not every child is even going to attempt these. In fact, many of them won't. They start in the Magic Songbook on page 44 to 49. I'm going to show you a couple here. And they're not covered in class ever. They do have instructional QR codes on them, but I will not take time to go over these in class. And if your child's really motivated to learn them, I can do private lessons with them. I do not charge $25 an hour or 30 minutes. That's what you see here. I actually charge $15. So that is an option if they really want to learn one of the above and beyonds. Here's one. It's Russian Dance. You can see there's a QR code, and it helps them to kind of learn the song. It's 2 pages. There's lots of QR codes. Look, there's one that says tips, right hand only, left hand only, hands together. So you do have the option of asking if I can do a little private lesson too, but lots of resources in here too. Okay, let's talk about piano technique. I'm not gonna have you try it, but just a reminder, have your child show you what a bubble smash is, all right? Do it with them. And then have your child show you some piano push-ups. Fingers do not buckle, we keep strong bubble hands, and then you try it. I want you to experience this, parents. And then we're gonna look at a closed finger exercise, which is really just a fancy way of saying scales. So I'm gonna demonstrate that on the piano. So I have here my C position song. A finger on each key, roll off, C, drop, 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 roll off, D, D, drop, 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 roll off, E, drop, 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 roll off, F, drop, 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 and so on and so forth. It goes through G, A, B, and then all the way to the end. By the way, at G, G, I would probably start an octave lower. Your child may still sing high. G, drop, 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 hold off. We go up to A, do the same thing. B, do the same thing. It ends. Red, purple, blue, yellow, red, 2, 3, 4, roll it off. All right, so that is really, really important that we use proper technique there. I'm really focusing on my drops, my rolls, and also we know technique starts with how we sit at the bench. So double check, knees are just under the edge. We have those nice 90-degree angles. Tall, I was actually a little off here, so I would want to center myself. I can feel my left shoulder a little bit stressed right now. All of these things make up technique. Bubble fingers, strong hands, pressing into the keys, really addressing technique. All right, so that's what the closed finger exercise is designed for. And there's a QR code there for that. All right, let's move on. So, purple chord. I just demonstrated the purple chord. I've done a few transitions. I want you to try it on your piano. So go ahead and pause the video. Go to your piano. Let's play a red chord to a purple chord transition. I'm gonna put the notation up here. And if you'll remember, we're just shifting what our third and second finger are doing. So the second finger takes over on E, and then that pinky slides up. So we have red. Now, finger two moves to E, and my pinky slides up. Purple, red, purple, red, purple, red. Try it a few times with me. Make sure those fingers are transitioning. Make sure they're nice and strong. All right? That is our purple chord. All right. La, mi, do, mi, la. Sorry. Do, mi, la. Those are the pieces of the purple chord. I think I'm going to pause the video for a second because I think I recorded the rest of this with my class. So let me double check.